Competitor dies after drowning during swim event. The 2024 CrossFit Games have resumed under of controversy following the tragic drowning of Serbian athlete Lazar Dukic during a run swim event. While the Games organizers have framed the decision to continue as an act of tribute to Dukic, many are questioning whether this is an honorable move or a calculated attempt to save face amid growing scrutiny over the event's safety protocols. A divisive decision. On Friday, the Games resumed with a moment of silence and a standing ovation for Dukic, accompanied by video tributes from fellow athletes. CrossFit's social media channels echoed the sentiment, stating that continuing the competition was the best way for the community to grieve together.
For anybody asking for updates from the CrossFit Games, we watched Lazar go under, and we screamed for some lifeguards. We were pretty far away, so it was tough to do anything else, but we were yelling for lifeguards, and unfortunately they couldn't hear us, and he just never came back up. I'm absolutely devastated, and that was not something that I wanted to watch. So, just if you're messaging me, I'm not going to message anybody back right now. That's what happened, and
The first instinct is to shut down, to isolate, to mourn, the statement read. But the only cure for grief is to grieve, and the best way to grieve is together. In our community, coming together to do hard things is how we pay tribute. However, this decision has ignited a firestorm of backlash. Critics argue that pressing forward with the Games so soon after the tragedy is not only insensitive but also indicative of a broader problem within the organization. They point to what they believe is a clear lack of adequate safety measures that led to Dukic's untimely death, suggesting that the decision to continue the Games is an attempt to divert attention from the organization's failures. A troubling history of safety concerns. The drowning of Lazar Dukic has shone a spotlight on CrossFit safety practices, with many in the fitness community questioning whether the event's organizers took the necessary precautions to ensure athlete safety. According to reports, spectators noticed Dukic struggling near the finish line of the swim portion of the event, yet it took nearly an hour for emergency responders to retrieve his body from the water. This timeline has raised serious questions about the efficiency and preparedness of the lifeguards and emergency personnel on duty. It's not the first time that CrossFit has been criticized for its approach to safety. Over the years, there have been numerous incidents where athletes have suffered severe injuries during events, often due to the extreme nature of the competitions. Critics argue that CrossFit's emphasis on pushing physical limits can sometimes come at the expense of athlete well-being. In the case of Dukic, many are asking whether more could have been done to prevent his death and whether CrossFit is prioritizing its brand and image over the safety of its participants. The ethics of continuing. The decision to continue the Games has sparked an ethical debate within the fitness community and beyond. On one side are those who believe that the Games should have been paused or canceled out of respect for Dukic and his family. They argue that continuing with the event sends a message that the show must go on, regardless of the cost to human life. On the other side are those who support CrossFit's decision, viewing it as a way to honor Dukic by doing what he loved, competing. This perspective is fueled by the notion that athletes, especially those at the elite level, understand the risks involved in extreme sports, and that continuing the Games allows the community to come together in a shared expression of grief and resilience. However, the optics of the decision are troubling to many. The rapid resumption of the Games could be seen as a cold, business-driven move rather than a genuine act of tribute. Critics argue that CrossFit is more concerned with maintaining its schedule and revenue stream than with addressing the underlying issues that contributed to Dukic's death. They point out that a more meaningful tribute might have involved a thorough review of safety protocols and a commitment to making changes to prevent such tragedies in the future. A community in mourning and disarray. As the Games continue, the CrossFit community finds itself grappling with a complex mix of emotions: grief for Dukic, anger at the perceived negligence, and confusion over how to process the tragedy. Social media has become a battleground for these conflicting sentiments, with some users expressing solidarity and support for Dukic's family, while others call for accountability and change within the organization. A GoFundMe campaign to support Dukic's family has already raised over $285,000, demonstrating the community's capacity for compassion and generosity even in the face of such a polarizing event. Looking forward. As the 2024 CrossFit Games press on, the shadow of Lazar Dukic's death looms large. Whether the decision to continue the Games will ultimately be seen as a respectful tribute or a callous misstep remains to be seen. What is clear, however, is that the tragedy has sparked a fierce debate on the sport's safety. Anyways, like this video and subscribe to Star Stunt for the latest drama, gossip, and news. Do it now.